in game 2. But I'm going to give him his 4 days rest, and I'm going to give him back into his creature of habit, which is
Well, he
4
had
days
Kluber
rest
right. I
and
give
then
you
play.
credit. But as much as you credit him for Kluber, I think he screwed up on the.
Yeah, but
on the
one
Bauer
goes
deal.
with the other. One goes with the other because if you're pitching Bauer in game 1,
Why not Clevenger? Why not?
because he pitched him on Friday.
I said, but no, he should have kept him. You didn't think ahead of
Yeah,
time.
but Garrett, you
He
can't
thought
do
ahead
that.
of time for Bauer.
Garrett, you can't do that because if they
you gotta
lose,
have a pitcher for
if
game
they
4.
lose that game, they're done.
True. Understandable.
So he had to have that game in order to take a 2-0 series lead. So he didn't want the Yankees to split that. So in a perfect world, I'm sure he probably would have preferred throwing Salazar instead of Tomlin in game 2 and then have
But you know
Tomlin
you're going
pitch
to your
game
bullpen
4.
with Salary. He's
But-
pitching 2.5 innings.
But I'll even
3
take
innings.
it a step further. I'd much rather have Bauer on 3 days rest than to have Tomlin pitch against the Yankees because Tomlin is.
That's why
Tomlin
I would have liked
just-
Clevenger to pitch. I wish he had him slotted
yeah,
in
but
game
Clevenger
4.
also has a problem with control as well.
I agree.
But now here's the thing: every single pitcher on that team, not named Trevor Bauer, is going to be ready to go tomorrow night. I mean, that's Johnny Allstaff is in full bore.
Hopefully we won't need
Every
him.
single one of them will be ready to go by then.
Hopefully we won't.
No, hopefully we won't. But I
have a
mean, it's the
Kluber-
season's on the line.
Kluber-esque game.
Well, it's like I said today.
The other thing that's
Write it in his permanent marker. Write it in anything
Yeah,
that you want
this
to.
is Ron,
I'm
stop.
just telling you.
I know where you're going.
I'm just telling you.
I wanted
It's
to-
going to happen.
If I was driving, I would have been off the road.
Well, I'm just telling you it's going to happen. Write it in whatever you want to write it. The Indians are winning tomorrow night.
Guaranteed Indians win.
I am
That's
guaranteeing
as much of a
that.
stamp for
Nope.
New
It
York
isn't.
as you could
No, it
possibly
isn't.
get. You
No, it isn't.
guaranteed it, like
I'm
no doubt.
guaranteeing there's no question in my mind.
Can you
that the
please maybe
Indians are
think
winning
about
this
the
game.
question?
No, not
a
at
little
all.
question?
Not at all.
Oh,
Not at all. They're going to be fine.
that's
It's all
what
good.
scares me.
It's
He
all
gave the kiss
good.
of death, folks.
It's not the kiss of
It's
death.
Tuesday night.
It's
we're
all
taping.
good.
The game's
It's all good.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you might not see this before the game. You
Well,
might
yeah,
not.
and I think if the Yankees do win, that a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh my God, the hell's wrong with you doing that?"
Just the fact
Listen,
that he guarantees Game 5.
that's it.
That
I'm
scares
Joe
me.
Namath.
So bad.
Hey, we're a pretty good team, and you know what? We're going to win this game. I guarantee it.
Now another issue I have with you is the Browns. Real
Now,
quick.
The only
Real quick,
problem is I don't have daiquiris or anything. I'm sitting on the beach or
I
whatever.
want to get to high school.
All right, go ahead.
All you've done is talk about sticking to a plan. 5 years.
Yep.
Different teams have done it. How you've complimented them.
Yep.
And you want them to blow it all up already.
Absolutely.
What is this logic here? It's not.
Here's the problem.
You got to take the feet. You can't start over again,
Yeah,
Ron.
But here's the problem.
can't.
Here's the problem. You've got incompetency in the front office.
They've had it before.
Yeah, but these guys are beyond stupid.
Well, let them try to work their. What's wrong with you said? Try to work your plan.
And I
You give
normally
all these
I
other
would.
teams, You got to stick with it. You've
Gary,
preached
normally-
it. Have you preached it before?
Absolutely
or not?
I have.
Stick with the plan.
But
5 years.
I also said, if this team can't beat Indianapolis, Cincinnati, or the New York Jets, we got some serious,
Well, you do,
serious
but that's just
problems.
part of the. We got to
No,
go
that's
with it.
no,
I know you don't like Hugh. You don't like some of his actions he does with
I don't.
game management.
It's not that I
clock
don't like
management.
Hugh the person. I
I
like Hugh the
understand.
person.
No,
I
I'm
like
not
Hugh a
saying that.
lot.
No, that's
it's
not
just
even-
Hugh's management, clock management. Oh my God. I mean,
But you want to blow it all up. Ron.
yeah, it's time.
That's inconsistent. Of you.
Well, no, it's
Preach. You sit there and preach about
I understand.
it. And how tough it was in the first year. How they could have. You said that before.
I understand.
How they could have just trashed it and started over, but team stuck with their 5
But here's the problem,
And now
Gary. They look worse.
I understand.
than they did last year.
I'm not going to argue with that.
So
So
immediately.
let's start over again and wait 5 more years.
So immediately, I'm going to be like,
Hey.
this isn't going to work.
Hey.
I mean, look, I gave you the full year. You guys spent your money. Okay, you got a nice offensive line. You're not using Crowell properly. You're
I like Duke
setting
Johnson
him up to
in there.
fail.
I like Duke
mean,
Johnson.
Duke Johnson's a pretty nice player.
He's a
Don't get me wrong.
playmaker.
You screwed
Their
the
tight end's a
pooch.
playmaker.
You screwed the pooch when it came to having your veteran quarterback start instead of Kaiser. Kaiser, and I said this from the get-go, you don't put Deshaun Kaiser on this team in the starting lineup until he's ready. He was not ready coming into the season.
I'm
He
worried
wasn't.
about him. I don't think he has a pocket presence at all. None, zero.
That's
And even
one
when
of
he
the-
rolls out, he has no presence of. I think he's on a one person, and if it don't work out, he's in trouble and he gets sacked.
I don't think that these guys have the front office has made any really great decisions.
We got the
per
worst
se.
quarterback of all the first-year quarterbacks, I think, out of the four of them.
No, I don't know about that. I mean, unfortunately, he doesn't have anybody
Sean
to
Watson,
throw to.
I think Trubisky's already better
Yeah,
than
but
him.
but you got
And who
these
else
guys
am I
are
missing?
already throwing to. They got receivers to throw to. This guy doesn't have
The
anybody
only
to
one
throw
from
to.
Kansas City ain't playing. Mahomes isn't playing, but
No,
But,
and he won't be for a while.
well, you don't need to. You know, Alex Smith.
No.
Yeah, that's just. But he'll
Alex-
look at their situation when they're done. That's like going from Peyton Manning to
Yeah, no,
Luck,
it's
even
pretty
though Luck's-
nice. Now, the situation is worse than it was last year, and you just can't have that. I mean, you were supposed to take a big step forward. You beefed your lineup. You did all. Now, don't get me wrong. The front office screwed a lot of things up. Pryor should still be in Cleveland.
But he's not that.
Mitchell-
he's not your go-to guy either.
Mitchell Schwartz
from
should
Kansas
still
City.
be in
the
Cleveland.
right tackle, and he'd be perfect.
And he would be
to
a
that
perfect
line.
complement for that
Deshaun
line.
Coleman isn't
Absolutely.
Cutting it.
I mean, there's guys that they got rid of that they should have never gotten rid of.
Schwartz, I agree.
I just the front office hasn't done a good enough job,
think we
and
need to just give him time.
Hughes got all kinds of
Play
issues.
Hogan. Let
Hogan's
Kaiser,
going to have to be the
Let Kaiser watch.
yeah Hogan's going to have to be the quarterback now because again you should have kept
We need to draft
Osweiler.
next year. Quarterback.
Well, I mean, you draft some receivers before you draft a quarterback.
Okay. So you won't take Rosen. You'll take receivers.
Well, I mean, if Sam Darnold falls
you
into
like
my
Darnold.
lap,
Okay, you
I
want
like
Darnold.
Darnold.
People
If Rosen falls into my lap, okay,
People
yeah,
are saying that
all right.
Rosen's a better pick, possibly. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
I
Sam
can't say.
Darnold's a pretty good quarterback. I mean, they're both solid, but
Switch gears. High school. What do you like? What's
Hold
going
on a
on?
second.
How?
I got to put my clutch down here. Hold on. Okay.
What do you like about the high school season so far?
I like the cheerleaders. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. Old man, that was a terrible comment. No, look. It's the same old, same old. I mean, I looked at the computer ratings that came out late this afternoon,
Okay.
and there's like 11 or 12 teams that are
Playoff?
going to be in the playoffs, or right
Let's
now
talk-
that
let's-
would be in the
Let's
playoffs.
kind of quickly talk about some of them. Were you shocked at Mooney losing the book, though? And does that ruin their season?
I'm more surprised that JFK lost to the Royal Mounties up in Canada. So I just
Why are you surprised? What do we know about?
well, I mean, normally you don't see teams in Canada coming into Ohio and winning a ball game. So that
Were they
that
a bigger
surprised
school?
me.
Do you know anything about that? Loss?
No, not really. But
Okay.
it just surprised me that they were able to come in and,
Okay.
and beat
So are
JFK.
they-
I was
what are
very
their-
surprised Bookville beat Mooney.
Very surprised.
And,
you almost don't deserve it after this point.
Well, whoever wins the Ursuline Mooney game will probably sneak in.
No,
Yeah.
Urson has no shot.
Well, if Ursuline wins out, they get to the playoffs.
If it snows tonight, let me
Well,
know.
I'm just saying, if they win out, they're going to be in the
Well,
playoffs.
and no offense, Larry Kemp's one of my favorite guys. You know that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have much of a chance.
All right.
Especially
One game at a time.
good teams. They just struggled against them,
Yeah.
and their schedule's too brutal.
Well, no, I mean they've played a really tough schedule this year. It's unfortunate that nobody in this area wants to play them. Otherwise, they would jump all over it. But
Now we have Liberty and we have Sean Springfield local
Yep.
with us today, as we know. What do you see for those chances of those?
Well,
two teams?
Springfield did a great job
Beating
against Western Reserve.
I know
Man,
you're a Western
that
Reserve guy.
surprised me.
You're sort of a Western Reserve fan.
Yeah, that surprised me. That surprised me a great deal. I
And the margin
congratulate.
more than the.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they
Even the victory, does that surprise
coach.
you? Does
Yeah,
it-
absolutely it did. Yeah, I thought that Western Reserve and McDonald were on a collision course, and
They
the
still
winner
are
of that,
for
and
the
they
league,
are,
for the
but
league. No?
well, maybe not. I mean, Western Reserve and Springfield have one loss. McDonald's undefeated. Okay, if they
need
all win
McDonald to
out,
win, right? Or
yeah. If Western Reserve beats McDonald, okay, and they all win out. Okay, you get a three-way tie for first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think
does
Springfield.
that damage Western Reserve's chance?
No, actually,
What'd they fall to?
I saw Western Reserve was 6 and McDonald was 7 in their region. So
Springfield's like 13th.
yeah, they're somewhere in
Somewhere
that
like
vicinity. Yeah,
Liberty's like that too, and they're
yeah, they're somewhere down in there. I mean, they're within shouting distance. But
Well, Liberty plays.
Liberty's game against Girard.
Yeah,
that's going to be their big one.
Can that be a playoff? Can that be either one? I mean,
Well, I think if Liberty beats Girard, they could certainly get themselves
does
into.
Girard need to beat Liberty to get into the playoffs?
They might.
They're going to play a road game, 10-0,
Yeah.
9-0, 9-1.
Oh yeah. Well, if
make
they go
playoffs.
9-1, they're not getting
Yeah,
into the
that's
playoffs.
and that's just competition.
Well, I mean, it's division. That region is God. That region's crazy.
Yeah, but you got
That's
to play teams that win.
No, you're right. I mean, that's
And
unfortunately
they're
that's
undefeated. And they're struggling.
Unfortunately, yeah, you can be undefeated, but if the teams that you've beaten haven't beaten many teams, you're not going to get many second level points, and that's important in Ohio in the state playoffs.
Are you impressed with Liberty's done?
Oh God, yeah.
Chet Allen and
Yeah.
Dave
Oh no,
Rush?
Coach Allen's one of my favorite guys.
He's a Michigan guy.
That's all right. It's, we all have our crosses to bear. It's okay. No, he's one of my favorite guys. He gets his team ready to play. They're a solid, fundamentally solid football team. I can appreciate what he does.
And he has Lynn Bowden 2.0
Yeah.
on his
Dre's
running the show.
Dre's nice. Good kid.
Good kid. Who else you like around here? Poland?
Poland is, Poland's Poland.
Are they going to run?
They'll be all right.
Lakeview. How do you see that game?
That game will.
Poland.
That game will be for Lakeview. It's huge.
Poland would get the win.
Well, you would think.
They might beat them up too.
Well, I don't know. You would think Poland would be favored in that game. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Canfield.
Well, I mean, Canfield's probably going to be 9-0 going into the Poland game. I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs. I mean, there's any question about that.
Do you like their talent?
I do like their talent. I like their talent a lot, and they got a legitimate chance. Now, St. V's is in their region, so.
St. V's going to struggle to make the playoffs.
No, I know.
They got a couple.
I know, but once they get in, that St. V's magic, it's.
They're
crazy.
They don't have Paris Campbell or Booker.
No, I know they don't.
They're
still a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, look, Chardon looks like they may get in, and right now they're number 8.
Canfield's their only loss.
And that's
did they lose again?
And they gave Canfield Canfield gave them their only loss. So that would be a solid rematch if they played each other again.
What do you think of Boardman's chances?
Boardman's chances are still very good. I mean, they got their win over Harding. They didn't get a lot of first-level points. But the thing is, that Massillon team that they beat, I mean, they're still beating teams. So they're getting a lot of second-level points from there.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, Massillon Jackson's doing well. And, I mean, to be honest with you, they got 3 very winnable games on their schedule. Ursuline, Fitch, and Lakeside.
Fitch is a rivalry.
Win those 3 games.
Ursuline and Lakeside are foregone conclusion.
Well, nothing's a foregone conclusion
but it is
in
though.
football.
It is.
But if you go out and you
When
win
you're a
those
better
3
team,
games,
you handle business.
if you can go out and you can take care of business, all right. Now you're finishing 7-3. They're number 7 right now. They'll probably be
Are they tied
5.
for 7th?
No.
Okay.
They're solid number 7
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
They'd probably be number 5. Now, unfortunately for them, they're in the Columbus region. So, unless you finish in the top 4, you're going to be traveling about 2.5 hours.
That's a lot of buses
Yeah.
with that band going down.
Oh God,
Columbus
yeah.
area.
Yeah, I mean the band's going to take up 7 buses by themselves. I mean, good Lord, crazy.
They still got that band though. That's
Oh,
amazing.
that's great. That's a good band.
That's amazing. Who we missing?
Solid
Anybody?
band. I'll tell you, and I'm gonna promote my county. Columbiana and Lisbon playing each other, and the OVAC.
By the way, Columbiana's going to help Springfield out, aren't they? They beat Columbiana.
Yeah, they beat Columbiana. So if Columbiana can
I think they have
continue
another-
winning,
and-
that would
and West
that would help
Reserve's going to help
Springfield.
them out too. If West Reserve beats McDonald,
Oh yeah,
That'll
yeah.
help
That
It
would
won't help
that
for
will
the league, though, right?
Well, that'll help. That'll help Springfield. It won't help
Yeah,
Columbiana.
Springfield.
Because
Yeah, I'm talking
Columbiana got skunked by
Yeah.
Western Reserve. So
but they've been pretty successful since early in the year. What's Columbiana's record? 8,
Columbiana is now on a I want to say a
5-2.
4 or 5 game winning streak. They're 5-2. Yeah, the 2 losses, they got blown out by Western Reserve in week 1. They got blown out by Springfield in week number 3, and since then, they've done well. This game against Lisbon will be a good game. That's going to be a solid game.
Where's Lisbon stand?
Lisbon is 6-1.
How did they lose to Valley Christian? Did you figure that out
I
yet?
would love to know. I'd love to know how that happened, but they're 6-1.
But Valley Christian's having a decent year.
No, they're having a decent year.
They ran into a buzzsaw this past
Well,
week.
Garrettsville Garfield's a good team. That's a really good football team. I mean that Lisbon Columbiana will be a good game. It'll be a solid game.
Anybody else in Columbiana that
Not really.
will Springfield get in? If they went out? I mean, they got Mineral Ridge, Waterloo, and I don't know.
Honestly, they're going to have some teams lose.
or win. They're teams they beat.
Well, and yeah, but here, I mean, if in their world, in a perfect world for them, Western Reserve's got to beat McDonald, because that'll help Springfield,
Yeah.
and that'll knock McDonald back a little bit.
That'll help twice.
And Springfield can jump over McDonald.
And Columbiana, can they win? What's their situation?
Columbiana's got Lisbon and East Palestine. If they can win both of those games, they'll be in the playoffs.
And that'll help.
And
That'll help Springfield.
That'll
well.
help Springfield, but they're also Division 6, so it really doesn't help
Because
Springfield.
they'll help themselves out.
Yeah, they're going to be helping themselves out, exactly. So, I mean, Springfield's in a very interesting situation. We'll see what happens. I mean, we'll find out a little bit more in the next couple of weeks, but that was a good win, solid win.
What's your schedule this weekend?
I'm going to be tomorrow, Wednesday, going up to see the Indians and Yankees. Thursday,
Mr. Credential guy here.
yeah. Thursday, we have the Boardman Ursuline game.
You
from
or
Stanbaugh? No, me and Leslie and Emily Tarantine. And then Friday, when the Indians beat the Yankees, the Harding Mooney game from Stanbaugh will be on 1390. If by some strange reasoning the Yankees happen to beat the Indians, which will not happen, but if it does happen,
it's a Saturday night game.
The Mooney Harding game would be played on KBN.
So where does Ohio State fit in? With your
Ohio State is a Saturday game. YSU would be on KBN. Ohio State would be on the Sports Animal 1390. And when the Indians beat the Yankees, that game will be on 93.3 The Wolf.
So they're not
one shot.
They're
deal.
not committed to 570. The Indians.
One shot deal. It'll be a one shot deal because the Penguins are.
You got to cover them.
Yeah, we got to cover them.
Is that your number one?
I don't know if that is or not, but we cut a deal, and yeah, you know what? In a perfect world, the Cubs beat Washington, and the Cubs in LA play in the NLCS, and that'll be the primetime game. Because the Astros and the Indians, well, New York's not involved. They'll schlup them over to the day game. So you'll have a day game between the Indians and the Astros. We'll be able to broadcast the day game on 570, and then go right into YSU. Perfect world.
Oh boy.
Then of course that's when the Indians.
You're
beat
asking
the Yankees.
for trouble. You know.
I know I am. It's it's okay.
Can't you just predict New York's going to just
it's-
clobber them?
No, why would I do that? I wouldn't be. No.
Because then I'd feel good about our
It's not going to happen.
chances on Wednesday.
Everything's good. It's all good.
You are the slep rock of slep rocks when it
Hold on
comes
a
to.
second.
This is a big game.
I don't see no dark cloud.
This is a
It's
big-
all good.
This is
Hold on.
this is
Wowsy,
game 5.
wowsy, woo woo.
This is game 5.
It's game 5.
And Indians.
Kluber's pitching.
Let's look at the Indians. Last 3 games of last year,
Yeah.
and first.
Yeah, but they were.
These are closeout games.
I understand, but you
This
put
this could be 5 in a row.
Put an asterisk next to the last 3 games of last year. They ran out of gas. They had 2 starters.
Understand, but they
mean,
still it's an L. It's
I
scoreboard.
get it, but
And
it's not
they
like
dropped the closeout game,
they didn't choke away
Monday,
the Cubs game.
and
the
they got
Cubs
another
series.
closeout game on
That's
Wednesday.
fine. That's fine.
And you're
It's-
guaranteeing a win. Oh,
Corey
my goodness.
Kluber will be nails tomorrow
Oh,
night.
Jeez,
It's
And
all
he's
good.
coming off of what?
That's coming off a bad performance.
Non-nails.
It's all right. He's nails. He's nails.
Oh,
it's all
jeez.
good.
All good.
It's all good.
So where will you be Saturday? What's your deal? Where were you? What?
I'm going to be at Youngstown State. Yeah.
Tailgate?
Well, yeah. Regardless, if the Indians win or not, I'm at Youngstown State. So, yeah. So
Fifth
this
quarter
week-
you do at the stadium.
5th quarter I do at the stadium. They pay me. Cleveland doesn't. So,
There
I
you
go
go.
where the money is.
There you go.
I love baseball, but I love
Yeah.
money.
Well, you go to baseball, you pay some parking too. I know
Whoa,
that.
man, low. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. Those
That's a,
sons of guns charged
you
me
throw 20 in the gas tank, 40 at the
$40
That's
to
a
park the car.
$60 game, but at least you
Yeah.
get to.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You
it's,
know,
it
once
would,
you're in there,
my,
you're good.
My argument to that is that would have been the cost of the ticket.
Yeah. And once
Or-
you're in, plus, once you're in there, you're much better off than
Yeah, exactly.
somebody sitting in the
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the.
I
You
get
know,
to, I get
in the
to,
food
I get to
department.
Ask, I get to ask Tito
Is
Francona
the diet
questions.
still in going on? By chance?
Look at me. Do I look
Well,
like
you have
I'm not-
spurts, I think, that you're
Well, I mean,
dieting and not
you know,
dieting.
I
don't
mean,
know
it's just
where you're at now.
It is what it is. I've accepted the fact I'm always going to have more chins than a Chinese phone book. That's all there is to it.
I see all your groupies on the radio are kind of pumping you up for all your questions you're getting on national TV.
I mean, a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. I walk into a press conference.
Why you wear glasses?
I walk into a press conference, and I wanted to ask Tito a question, and as it turns out, the press conference was televised on MLB Network, and I'm driving home, and a buddy of mine calls me up and says, "Hey, you're famous." I'm like, "The hell are you talking about?" He goes, "Your question, and we heard you
I
ask
heard
your
it
question
too.
on
I said,
Tito."
"Oh, there's
I'm
Bethesda."
like,
oh,
"Really?"
Gosh.
I'm like, "All right, pretty cool." So, it's all right.
So Penguins, what are they going to do Saturday? Let's nail you down on a couple of predictions here.
I'd like to think the Penguins win Saturday. We'll see what happens. I don't really have a feel about it. I'd like to think that they win Saturday.
But you have a feel about the Indians.
Oh, I guarantee the Indians are going to win.
Please.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. How about the Buckeyes? Any interest at all? Nebraska?
I mean, tell me when these guys play somebody.
Okay.
Good Lord, you're through the Sisters of the Blind, the St. Mary's of the Deaf, Sammy Davis Jr. School for Music.
I got you.
I mean, tell me when you guys. Well, actually, I'll give you a bone. The Nebraska game, if it were in Columbus, it would be the Frank Sinatra School of Music. But since they're in Lincoln, all right, maybe a little bit of competition.
Okay.
Your season starts up again in a couple of weeks, and you better bring a pass rush.
Who the Browns got? I don't even know.
Does it really matter?
No.
Yeah.
Because they lost all their winnable games.
Good Lord.
They lost their winnable games.
I mean, seriously, they get Houston.
I think it'd be Pittsburgh now, I think.
They get Houston. Deshaun Watson.
Oh.
The guy that they probably could have taken in the draft.
Could have taken.
And he probably knows that he probably could have.
At least on his face right now, Trubisky looks better than Kaiser right now.
No, that's true.
Right now.
He did throw a pick, though.
Yeah, but he's just more of a presence in the.
But they also got guys.
Kaiser's
that
disappointing, Ron. I'm sorry to say, he's disappointing.
Well, so are his receivers.
Understandable. That's true. But he's.
Here's.
I think he's locking on, and then he's panics.
And I get it. But a lot of people said Jared Goff was a bust.
No, I'm
funny
not,
how.
I'm not calling him a bust. I'm disappointed, though.
No, I get it. But a lot of people were saying that there is relatively the same.
Because I don't want to use a draft pick on a quarterback next year. I don't want.
Oh, neither.
But I'll take Rosen if he's there. I like Rosen.
Well, either one.
But if they need, but hopefully they won't need to take.
Get me away from that kid from Wyoming.
Yeah.
Oh, he got exposed early.
That's it. I didn't follow that.
Yeah, no. He played a big boy school and didn't do too well. So.
Who did the Penguins got after North Dakota State? Just so
Northern Iowa in the Unidome.
That's not an easy one
either. That's
either.
not an easy one. And then
when did they get easy?
And then they got Illinois State at home, and they're a top 25 team. So that's not easy.
Home at YSU.
Yeah, at YSU. After Illinois State, it gets a little easier.
So they got to get through.
Their schedule's top heavy. It's the Charo of the Mahoning Valley Football Conference.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's the Elvira, Mistress of the Dark of the Mahoning Valley Football Conference. Very top heavy schedule.
See, I tell them to put our show on Friday on the air somehow with the cameras, just so you can see Ron in his glory. But you're getting a great picture of who Ron Bethesda is now.
Glory. Yeah, well, soak it in. Get a couple of barf bags and soak this in. In all of its ugliness.
And you got a spaghetti dinner coming up shortly here?
Real
quick, let's plug that real quick.
Well, I mean,
Sergeant Bob's over here, our guy
Bob's,
with MVP Entertainment.
One of the coaches for the junior high program, and they got a lasagna dinner over at Leetonia School. The Rulli brothers are going to be.
There you go. Nice plug there.
Be, providing the spread, so it's going to be pretty good. Not that. Let me tell you what. It's the old school Leetonia people. The Italians down in Leetonia, you have them cook lasagna. Ooh, man.
Bring a plate. Bring a dish.
That's good stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I see now. That the lasagna is going to be really good. It's going to be so al dente. It'll be at attention. Because the Sarge is making it, so it's all good. No, and it's what the junior high program. He's done a really good job. Been a tough few years down in Leetonia. It's I graduated from that place years
82.
ago. Yeah, 82 with you. 35 years ago, and I am very proud to say when I was in school, not that I had anything to do with it, but from my sophomore to senior year, we were 24-4-2, and we won 2 Tri-County League championships, and
Wow.
Yeah, we were good.
Those days are gone.
Those days are long gone. And I came back home not too long ago, and the first thing I did was, I always want to go down to my home stomping grounds, and they get this beautiful school. I mean, it's nowhere near the school that I went to school in. Leetonia High School is the only place I know where you had to actually shovel coal to have heat in your school. It's the craziest place I'd ever seen in my life. One room would be 95 degrees, another room would be 15 degrees below zero. I mean, it was nuts. So it was long overdue to have this absolutely gorgeous school. And I go into there a couple of years ago, and I'm walking around, and I'm like, dang, why are we losing all the time? What the hell is this? And why are people accepting this all of a sudden? And it's only gotten worse. And I can appreciate guys like Sarge and the coaching staff down there. I mean, they're doing the best that they can, and unfortunately, it's been a long time since my beloved alma mater has been good. And unfortunately, when you lose that often, the culture of losing gets a little bit deeper and deeper, and it's going to be tough to get that out of there. But hopefully, these guys will be able to do it. I believe it or not, there's actually some talent coming up, which gives me hope. So
wonderful. Let's Rompetesta. You could catch us together on Fridays from 2 to 3.
From 2 to 3.
On 13.9, the Sports Animal.
Thank you very much for remembering that.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
I forgot your phone number today, too, while I was walking.
That's okay.
I was so close to calling.
Yeah, I know. You wanted to call in and say, oh, my God, don't guarantee anything.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
scared the jeebers out of me.
Well, I scare a lot of people. When they look at me, I scare people. Little kids cling to their parents. Now, I don't know the reason why. I mean, it's not like I have a van and candy and saying, hey, come on over here. I don't do anything like that. I mean, come on.
That's Rompetesta. Yeah. Catch him during the week on the radio.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Again, catch him on the radio. Give him hell on Thursday if the Yankees win. Yeah.
Oh, you're dead on Thursday.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I know.
Mr. Guarantee.
I've already had a couple of people block me on social media.
He's Mr. Guarantee, Ron Petessa.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron, for coming in.
Thank you,
part
sir.
of our regular show every week. We appreciate that, having you come
Not
on.
next week. Cavaliers are opening the season. Screw you. I'm going up to the queue.
Mr. Press Pass over here. Well, we'll catch him another week then. That's Ron Petessa. We'll be back with more Yards After Contact from Kelly's Bar, Mahoney Avenue in Youngstown, Ohio.
This is the late Walter Cronkite, reminding you to tune in every Monday through Friday from noon to 3 on the Sports Animal 1390 for Ron Potesta and Sports Rap. He's a moron and you should listen to him. And that's the way it is for Tuesday, August 29th, 2017. This is Walter Cronkite saying bleep you and good night.
And welcome back to Kelly's Bar for our final segment of Yards After Contact. With me again is our co-host Ryan Kelly. And, well, what are we excited about for this coming weekend, Ryan?
Well, the week kicks off with Ursun versus Boardman. Must
I'm
win.
going with Boardman. You're going?
I'm going with Ursun.
You got to go with your homies.
Must win for both teams.
Must win.
Yeah, a great old school SVC battle.
Sure.
So, yeah, I just think
at YSU.
Yeah, it'll be a cool game to kick the week off.
Weather good Thursday or no?
I didn't check yet. I know tomorrow's supposed to be a little bit cool, a little bit of rain early.
Okay.
So.
Okay, we got Ursun Thursday. Friday, where you know?
I am going to go see a high school game. I'm just not sure where I'm headed. I think you and I were talking off camera that Newcastle game does sound kind of intriguing.
Well, Poland Lakeview is going to – I think Poland will beat them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you feel that way?
I do too, but Lakeview's, quite a hot team right now.
They lost to Highland opening week and haven't lost since. But I just think Poland's too much, too physical. I don't know. I'm thinking about going to see Marcus Hooker in Newcastle. I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
What position is he? Is he the same as his brother?
Yeah, he's a defensive back.
Bigger kid?
I'm not really sure. I haven't seen him live. That's why I want to go see him if I get a chance. See the game, interview him after the game. Excuse me, he's a Buckeye commitment, so it's 20 minutes in Newcastle. Not too bad of a gig, but really there's not many marquee games on schedule Friday night.
It's kind of like Week 8's a weird one.
Springfield's here. They play Mineral Ridge.
Yeah, and
Liberty plays Waterloo or Newton. Maybe Newton. I don't know. I talked to I forgot already what Chet
You know,
said.
first of all, Chet's the funniest guy, one of the funniest guys of all time.
Yeah.
But you know,
He was a good-
those guys again. Sean's always great to hear. You know, he's literally you hear Jim Tressel when his whole mentalities and everything he has. It's just
And Dave, of
they
course.
still call Dave and all that stuff. But Dana is, you know, he's great, and Ron. It was getting kind of heated. I thought I was have to run over here and break it up between you guys.
Oh.
But
That's how it is on our show on Friday. We
I
just-
know, you know,
we just-
I always listen. I listen for two reasons. One, I love to hear you two go at it, and two, I get a bunch of free advertising on
Yes.
Fridays for an hour.
There we go.
So,
Come on down to
but Ron's
Kelly's Bar.
my official, unofficial taste tester. I
Oh,
come
nice.
there, I come there feeding them, and
Oh.
every week I don't know if I'm on my diet. Next thing you know, there's
They're
8
gone.
wings down.
They're gone.
But no, I mean, yeah, week 8 is always kind of a boring week in high school football, just because I think a lot of the rivalry games are week 9 or 10. I think even though it's not going to have as much juice behind it, last year we did a nice Urson Mooney show, so maybe we can plan something like that for next week. You know, but like I said, week 8's always kind of your down week going in, and you gotta get recharged and healthy for the playoffs, and then you also gotta hope you're getting in the playoffs. You can't drop a game you're supposed to win.
So who do we think right now might make the playoffs?
You're
Campfield,
gonna have
Poland.
Canfield. You're gonna have Poland.
I think Bournemouth can squeak in.
Boardman's got a chance. Urson and Mooney are out.
They're out.
Fitch
If Bournemouth beats Fitch, that don't bode well for Fitch.
No, Fitch
Fitch needs to probably win
Fitch
out.
has
I would
their
guess.
outside chance. South Range is in.
South Rangers, and that's a good ball club. Remish, here's
I didn't ask you earlier.
Here's
so.
what I thought. I looked at him. When Ross Holman was a senior in high school. They played Versailles at
Yeah.
Versailles. I had no idea where Versailles was. I'm driving southwest Ohio in cornfields. Next thing I know, you start to see a couple houses. Next thing you know, there's a stadium.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of like nowhere.
Yeah.
And there's cars parking in driveways and the whole, and you just couldn't fit another person with a shoehorn in that stadium.
Yeah.
And Ross Holman it was the first time live I saw him
Yeah.
play. Lit it up on running the ball, but linebacker was killing people. And that, I'm thinking, I'm watching Remish. I said, I mean, it's hard to say he's a Ross Holman.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's, oh my God, this
Yeah,
kid.
he's a senior?
He's better on defense. Yeah, he's knocks heads around on a
Is
linebacker.
he a tall kid?
No, he's not. He's a short guy. I mean, not short. I mean,
And,
he's
you know,
not,
they have a solid
he's probably-
quarterback. I
don't-
think he's a
yeah.
3-year starter.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, they play well, and they subbed him at the end of the game. But
Yeah.
they were
I mean,
winning
but
by then.
they've played Akron, Manchester. They played Sharon, who's, you know, maybe not as good, but those are typically good programs.
Dana
so.
didn't seem real high on their competition. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, he's seen him play,
Yeah.
but
But I think they got a shot. I mean, you know, we mentioned them. Western Reserve, right?
yeah, I mean, they have an outside chance, but
Maybe
you know,
McDonald.
you got
Maybe McDonald.
you have Gerard and Liberty, who, as we said earlier, that week 10 could be winning in for either team.
Yeah, or loser it
you know,
out for
and
sure.
That's crazy. You're right. I mean, at 10-0, they have a chance to not make the playoffs, and 9-1 might be automatically out. I don't know, Gerard. You know, so that's.
Now we haven't had JFK here this year yet, but they're not looking.
No, you know, I
promising.
mean, those are my guys, but hey, you know, we normally typically say, hey, let's call them after a big win. Well, you know,
We're
when you
waiting.
lose to a team from Ontario, you
Yeah,
can't.
were they shocked? Did you talk to Plogar?
I actually haven't had a chance to talk to them yet, but I'm sure they weren't happy. I know they're banged up. And when they only got, you know, last year they went.
Sure.
If you looked, they really only had 16 guys who played, and it's. When you go and win a state championship, it's not all coaching, it's not all players. There's a lot of luck that goes into it too. You know, even I think we said it last week. Even in that Urson run, yeah, we had guys, but we were healthy. We stayed lucky, and it's a mentally tough situation too with certain kids. I mean, I'm not saying that I think those kids are legitimately hurt, but you know, sometimes when you get a shoulder or something, it's separated. And the doctor tells you it's a pain tolerance thing. You know, pain tolerance to me may not be pain tolerance to you, but I'm telling you, the guy who has chemo hooked up to him right now, what pain tolerance is. But you know what I'm saying with that whole thing. So
Yeah, I will see Dan Reardon this weekend by
Uh-huh.
chance. We have something going on. He's doing well. We maybe
Yeah.
look.
yeah, he
look at
just
him. 7-0,
you know,
and I think
I
they're
think
going to be 8-0
next
this
week,
weekend.
Our only chance to probably sneak him is next week because you know he had last year.
McKinley is week 10.
Yeah, they were in town to do their whole. They practice here for a week while the Hall of Fame ceremony was going on.
Yeah.
So he gave us the whole rundown. I mean, every single day of that Masson week, they have something.
Yeah.
They have a kickoff show. Now they're doing. They said a big documentary. They're doing live airings of the documentary. Too, they have a champions breakfast. I mean, every single day, and up until the game at 2:00, which is the Hall of Fame Stadium would be sold out. Think about that.
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, should be.
And that's one. If I wasn't going to go to the Notre Dame NC State game, I definitely would be there. I'm going to miss it again. So.
Wow, there's so many good games that weekend. That last
I
10
know.
rivalry games, if you will.
You know what? I promised my wife I'd take her to a Notre Dame game, so this will be her first game.
And they play.
if we
who they
lose,
play,
it'll
did
be
you
her
say?
last game.
Who they play?
North Carolina State.
Oh, that could be a
Yeah,
loss.
it could be a ranked opponent.
That's
so.
the loss. I'm giving them a loss right there.
When was the last time you picked Notre Dame to win?
I'm not against them.
The spring game,
My
maybe?
brother Chuck was a Notre Dame fan
Okay.
who would go one game every year.
Okay.
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
And he was a Notre Dame guy. He transitioned a little when Tressel was there, obviously.
Now,
he was Youngstown State.
Is
He worked
his
for
son,
Jambar.
is his son Chucky? Is he a Notre Dame fan?
He's a little bit of everything, I
Yeah,
think. You
yeah.
know, I don't think he's a diehard, but
Yeah.
I'm sure he is because that's what his grandpa and his father.
Your
on
dad
on
was
the-
a
no,
Notre Dame?
on his
okay.
on his mother's side.
Okay.
Were Notre Dame influence and.
Was your dad a Buckeye fan?
Oh yeah. But and he never saw me doing what I'm doing now. He passed in '99. I started in 2001, and
Okay. Yeah.
what the experience that would have been for
Oh yeah.
him as well as me, and taking him to some games and giving him opportunities.
Well, now was
wouldn't
he a
have had.
big football guy?
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
we're sports. I mean that's.
Yeah.
I mean we're Browns mainly. I mean we
Uh-huh.
were mainly a Browns family growing
Yeah.
up. And when he was still alive at the time, I wasn't really. I mean I was a
So
Buckeye
he
fan.
didn't even get to see him come back.
No.
The Browns. Not.
No.
God rest his soul, he hasn't missed much.
No.
Since they've been back.
No.
What's
But
your
he-
thoughts on them right now?
Just.
Now,
it
do
is
you
what it is.
think they're gonna stick with you, Jackson?
They can't upset the apple cart again. What
Yeah.
good's it gonna do?
You're
Start
right.
over again? I mean, hopefully they got some plan. Hope they're gonna stick to it. I challenge Ron about that. He sits there and talks about sticking to a 5-year plan, making it happen
Yeah,
no matter
now he's
what.
bailing off
and he's
of it,
bailing
yeah.
already. He's already.
I
would have the resignations
one
Monday.
of the things that I've
You can't
always
do
said,
that.
and this is at any level from high school up, I think I have a hard time when a head coach is a coordinator. I just don't think. I think your success rate
want somebody else.
drops rapidly. I just think.
Andy Reid's. Doesn't he call the plays in Kansas City? They're
Yeah,
the best team
like I
in the
said, I
NFL
mean,
right
now there's some.
Kareem Hunt from.
there's obviously
Willoughby
those
South in
those
Cleveland.
good situations. There's some, but I mean they're very rare because I think even it was talked about Zeke's last year there at Ohio State, when Urban Meyer got involved back in the offensive play calling.